Hey guys, Jen and Miloš here, and today we're going to talk to you about
Croatia.
So today we're going to tell you all kinds of facts and fun stuff about Croatia. We've seen a lot of English-speaking videos on Croatia on YouTube, but they're all done by folks who either have never been here or they've maybe visited once and they're talking about their vacation. We wanted to give you a special insight. Not only do we live here in Croatia for most of the year, we live in Crikvenica.
Hi from Crikvenica.
But my husband is actually Croatian.
I am indeed. And she's totally making me do this, but that's okay because I love her.
First off, where is Croatia? Here's a handy map to help you out.
And no, it's not next to Russia.
It's nowhere near Russia. Not at all. It's near Italy.
Croatia is often referred to as an Eastern European country, as it was part of the socialist Yugoslavia up until its dissolution in 1991. However, they are in fact a part of southern Central Europe, as you can see right here on the map.
The official name of the country is the Republic of Croatia. The language spoken here is Croatian. It's a Slavic language, and they actually use the Latin alphabet, same as we do in English. They have a few extra letters, which are essentially our letters with little symbols added to them. Now, they don't use Cyrillic here. Some of the Slavic languages use Cyrillic, and some do not. So to talk a little bit, though, about the relationship of Slavic languages, I'm going to let Miloš take over for that.
So Slavic languages are, to give you some of the examples, Croatian, Serbian, Bosnian, Slovenian, Slovakian, Czech, Russian, Polish, etc., Bulgarian, in case I'm missing some. But we can all kind of, if somebody speaks slowly, you can kind of understand, or if you can read, it's a little bit easier. But Croatian, Bosnian, and Serbian are almost identical. We can all understand each other pretty much 99% of it. There's a few words that you might not know what they mean, but essentially it is the same language.
The currency used in Croatia is the kuna. Capital city is Zagreb. And the population is 4.2 million, but it's actually declining. The numbers are going down every year. We actually had to pause from filming there for a second because our cat was eating and that's all you could hear. The Croatian flag colors are red, white, and blue, just like us, so it's super easy to remember there, folks. Now, it's important to note that Croatia is in the European Union, or the EU.
Since 2013.
But they're not a member of the Schengen yet, so that means that the borders are still patrolled. You still have to show your passport when you go through the border.
If you're an American, then you do not need a visa for Europe in general, Croatia including. You just automatically get a 90-day permission to stay, kind of like a 90-day or 3 months visa without really having to apply for it.
Croatia is also the birthplace of historical figures such as Nikola Tesla, Ivan Vukic, the co-inventor of the torpedo, and it was the birthplace of the necktie.
The total land area of Croatia is about 56,000 square kilometers, which is roughly 21,800 square miles. So it's actually a very small country. You can probably compare it to like West Virginia. Now, I'm from Pennsylvania, and you can probably fit about 2.5 Croatias into Pennsylvania. So it's actually a very small country. But within that small country, there's over 1,200 islands off the coast. So it's very much a coastal country. Their actual coastline, like actual stretch of coast, is insane for such a small country. On the mainland alone, the coastline equals about 1,700 kilometers or 1,100 miles. So that's a lot of coast. That doesn't even include those over 1,200 islands. So what does that tell you? It tells you that Croatia has a lot of beaches. Croatia has an amazing, varied history. So they were controlled by the Romans, the Venetians, the Ottomans, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Let's start in Pula with the ancient giant amphitheater. 6th largest in the world, I believe.
Yes.
And the only one remaining with all 4 side towers intact.
Probably the best preserved amphitheater in the world. No offense to Colosseum in Rome.
Then if you go down to Zadar, you've got the sea organ and the greeting to the sun. Zadar also has some amazing Roman ruins that you can actually just sit on or stand on them. Touch them, whatever you like. Then you have the UNESCO protected old town of Trogir, right near Split, which is home to the Diocletian Palace.
And also part where Game of Thrones is actually filmed as well.
They filmed part of Game of Thrones there, yeah. And then going down the coast to the most famous, most visited city in Croatia, Dubrovnik, with its ancient city walls that span 2 kilometers around, completely connected all the way around the city.
The Jewel of Adriatic is it called.
And that's where a lot more of Game of Thrones was filmed. If you've watched the show, you've seen Dubrovnik. Ah, yeah, that new show.
Emerald City.
Emerald City. They have been doing some filming in Croatia and Dubrovnik as well.
They're
also in
Plitvice.
Plitvice.
Yeah.
Here's Tiger, our Croatian kitty, who keeps making all the noise during the videos. Yes. He wants to say hi. If the sun and sea is more your style, well, Croatia is your perfect vacation. The Adriatic Sea is known for its beautiful, crystal clear, clean water.
Forget about the Caribbean.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I've been to Caribbean. It's great.
The beaches tend to be a bit more rocky or pebbly, stony than what we're used to in the States when we think of as beach being sand. I mean, there are some sand beaches, but you're going to see more of the rocky coastline kind of beach.
No sharks.
Yeah, that's right. No sharks. Here's a few pics from some of our favorite beaches that we've visited throughout the years. If you're a nature lover, so you love hiking or camping or all kinds of outdoor sporting activities, Croatia is also the place for you.
Lots to offer.
Our absolute favorite place to go as far as amazing, stunning natural beauty is Plitvice National Park. Say that in Croatian.
Plitvice.
Okay, that's a lot of videos out there get that wrong. The thing about Plitvice, with all of its 16 connected lakes and tons of waterfalls, is that it almost feels like it was created by Disney, but it's actually real. All the water rushing around you just energizes you as you walk all the various trails and pathways that they have set up. You get to stand right next to the waterfalls. You get to experience it up close and first hand. Here are some photos from when we went to Plitvice. Several times. We went there a few times. We went there in spring, fall, and winter. Or Krka National Park, which is actually relatively close to Split. So if you're staying there as part of your vacation, it's an easy to make day trip. You have lots of connecting lakes, tons of waterfalls, paths that cut through the water and the forest, and then at the end, you actually get to swim at the bottom of the waterfall. Here are some of our photos from when we went to Krka. Alright, so let's talk about food. What kind of food can you eat in Croatia and what are the specialties? Now it really varies between regions. So you have the inland region and you have your coastal region. Inland, you're going to find more pork and pork products tend to be the strong, overwhelming dish served. Whereas on the sea, obviously you have a lot of seafood. Fresh fish, calamari, scampi, which are actually what we call Langostino lobsters, is what they call scampi here. Traditional Mediterranean food, what we would think of as Italian food, is very popular here in coastal Croatia. So in the northeast inner part of Croatia, called Slavonia, there is a famous dish called kulen.
Yes.
Pronunciation checker.
Yes, it's essentially a spiced type of sausage that is produced there, and it has a very characteristic flavor. So if you're a fan of pork and sausages, that is definitely something you should try. Even if you're not in Slavonia, if you're somewhere else, try to ask if they have it. A certain restaurant actually might have kulen on their menu, although it's going to be definitely more rare if you're going to go down the coast.
Another very famous dish here is cevapcici.
Correct. Even though cevapcici are not a Croatian specialty, you can pretty much find cevapcici on every menu of every restaurant, regardless of where you are in Croatia. It's essentially minced meat that is shaped into
Essentially, it's kind of like a seasoned hamburger meat that's shaped like a little sausage.
Correct, but it's actually made a special way, which only few people have the actual real recipe. I happen to know it, but I cannot reveal it. It has a very distinct flavor. It's absolutely amazing. For any of you meat lovers, you need to try cevapcici or pljeskavica, which is generally made out of, it's basically same meat, but it's shaped as a burger. And if you come to Croatia, or even if you ever sometimes go to Bosnia, they're going to have actually better ones, or Serbia, make sure you try cevapcici and pljeskavica.
Also along the coastal area of Croatia is a traditional meat dish called
pašticada. I would strongly suggest, if you're in Dalmatia or anywhere in coastal area, try to find a restaurant that has a meal called pašticada, which is, it's basically a meat prepared in a special way.
It's been marinated for a long time.
Yeah, usually it's actually a couple of days, and make sure you try to find a restaurant that has pašticada. It's absolutely
You won't be disappointed.
Amazing. Right.
Another traditional meal that's popular all over Croatia is called
sarma, which is essentially stuffed cabbage. If you ask the Turks will say sarma is theirs. If you ask the Serbians will tell you sarma is Serbian. Of course, in Croatia, we're going to say sarma is Croatian. But that is definitely a meal that you can find all over. Maybe not in restaurants, but if you ask any Croatian if they had sarma or if they love sarma, they will most likely say yes.
It's something that the Croatian grandmothers are going to be cooking at home in the kitchen. When people invite you into their home, or you want to toast a wonderful evening or a special event, there's a drink you're going to see in pretty much every Croatian household.
Okay, it's called rakia. Again, same as, remember what I said about sarma, that if you go to Turkey, they'll say it's Turkish. If you go to Greece, they will say it's Greek. In Croatia, we say sarma is Croatian. Same thing with rakia. If you go to Serbia, they're gonna say it's Serbian. If you go to Turkey, they're gonna say it's Turkish. We're in Croatia right now, so we're gonna drink rakia, which I say it's ours. Anyways, rakia is essentially brandy. This is a plum rakia, which is called šljivovica. Plum in Croatian, if you want to say plum, you say šljiva. So šljivovica is a derivative of a word šljiva. You have all different kinds of rakia. Šljivovica, medica, borovnica, whatever, doesn't matter. But this particular one is šljivovica. It's actually my favorite. This is a 13-year-old šljivovica right here. So one of the words, or one of the most common words that people know in Croatian if they're not from Croatia, it's the word živjeli, which means cheers. So if you're in a bar or if you're in somebody's house, if they're going to give you something to drink, they're all going to go and say živjeli, which means let us live long, or let us live. It means to live, basically. So, živjeli.
If you liked what you learned today and what you saw, and you'd like to see some more either about Croatia or any of the other places that we travel,
because there's going to be a lot more.
There's going to be a lot more. We do travel for a living, so we go all over, and we're going to keep making videos for you. So if you have a request, put it in the comments. But most importantly, if you do like what you see, please like and subscribe to our channel.
Right here.
Živali. Živali.
No.
Živali.
No.
Živali.
If you're in Serbia, you would be kind of close.